I'm so glad that you're joining me here today. My name is Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and I live, eat, breathe, and sleep everything Facebook advertising. Today's session is a very interesting and unique one. We're talking about mastering Facebook ads for multi-location businesses. If you have never run a Facebook ad before, or if you are at a beginner level, it's okay. Sit through this, watch, absorb some of this information, but please know I'm showing you a high level of what can be done, not tactics on how to do it. If you've got questions on that later, you can always follow up with me. So why am I teaching you this? Well, I'm a Meta certified lead trainer, and I travel all over North America, coast to coast, Canada, the United States, teaching small business owners how to use Facebook ads. I speak on behalf of Meta at their events. I speak on behalf of my business at events and on behalf of other businesses as well. I've helped over 1,000 business owners learn how to do Facebook ads for themselves, and I'm very familiar with the platform. So if you do have Q&A questions after this, feel free to reach out to me. I will absolutely respond, and I'm more than happy to help. All right, so what are we covering off today? We're going to be looking at Facebook and Instagram advertising and structures for shopping, for multiple store locations, and we're going to cover off some account best practices, because in good faith, I have to make sure I'm leaving you on a good note so that you can set yourself up for success. Now, before we get into all the features, I want to frame this so that you can understand whether or not you have a small page, a big page, a small brand, a big brand, that you can make an impact. These are a few numbers. I'll walk through them very quickly together, but this is an example of a page with 380 fans but can have 600,000 impressions. These are actual screenshots from an actual client, one that had just started a page that was under 1 year old and had 380 fans. Within that time period, and this is a screenshot from Agorapulse, in fact, I use it for most of my reporting within clients. Within that, they've had 24,000 website visitors to their website in this time period. From that, we've had 47,000 page engagements. And what are those? Those are likes, clicks, comments, shares, reactions, messages, essentially anyone interacting with their content that they're seeing in any way, shape, or form. So that's a very good indication that of the eyeballs that are seeing that content, we're reaching the right people and they want that content. Out of that, we've had 600,000 impressions. That means that their content has shown up 600,000 times in various placements. And you can see based on these numbers that over 579,000 of those were paid impressions. So paid advertising can have a huge impact, and to reverse engineer that, it's not just paying to get out in front of people, you're paying to get in front of people who are actually engaging with you. All right, so I just wanted to frame those numbers so that you have an idea that regardless of how big or small your brand is, how big or small your budget is, you have the ability to make a very big impact. Now, once you learn how to leverage some of these features for your shopping or for your locations, you'll be able to really make a strong impact with your clients, customers, and attract new people to your business. But first, it is quite helpful to understand what's happening behind the scenes when you create an ad. When you create an ad, it automatically creates a structure that is very similar to an organizational structure. At the very tippy top, you've got your CEO. Reporting to the CEO, you have a department manager who gets to make decisions such as your budget and schedules. And then reporting into the department manager, you have an employee. And that employee doesn't have to make any business decisions. They get to go forth and interact with the public and carry out the work. Your campaigns are very similar. At the very tippy top, you have the overarching decision of what is the purpose? What are we all working toward? What's the goal that we are trying to accomplish here? And with those campaigns, you can make choices such as using Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, which we're going to talk about here in a moment. So from the campaign decision, depending on what objective you choose, you have a whole bunch of different options that are at your fingertips. And then within that, you have an ad set that's kind of like a department manager. You get to decide on things like your targeting, how long that ad is going to run for, where those ads are going to show up in different placements. And then underneath that, nested inside of that, you have your ad. And your ad, like an employee, doesn't have to make any big business decisions. They just have to go out and interface with the public and attract attention and engage with customers. Now, when we look at a bigger organization, you might have one CEO, but you can have multiple department managers that are managing different parts of the business, and you can have multiple employees underneath them. In a larger structure like this, if you have, much like the campaign structure, if you have ads that are not performing or employees that are not performing, you can release them and take that budget and give it to the employees who are performing. And these are ways that you can incrementally start making your ads perform much better for you by having a structure with ads behind the scenes that are leveraging all of the different powerful features that you have available to you. All right, if that was a lot, take a deep breath. Don't stress. I just wanted to show you the structure of what's going on behind the scenes. Now, let's talk about some of the structures that are happening when you layer on shopping. So there are shopping features that are available to you. If you are an advertiser and you are selling products that have an add to cart, a checkout, a price, you can have that connected to a catalog. You can either create that catalog manually, you can connect it to something like Shopify or WooCommerce that automatically does all of this behind the scenes for you, or you can manually upload items yourself. This gives you access to additional features like Advantage Plus shopping campaigns. Anytime you see Advantage Plus behind the scenes with Meta, it is their machine learning, their AI. So you definitely want to be leveraging those tools and let the AI do the heavy lifting for you. So I am going to read a little bit of this to explain what Advantage Plus shopping campaigns are. You do need to understand this part. That's why I've got it here. So what are they? They require fewer inputs when you're setting up the campaign, meaning it's easier for you to go step by step and set it up. They simplify the audience options, so you don't need to be a wizard when it comes to audiences and targeting. And it streamlines the creative management so that you're not having to manage hundreds of pieces of images and videos and creative. So by removing all of those factors, it's making it easier for you to run campaigns with varying targeting and varying creative setups to giving Meta system more opportunities to reach more people who are likely to purchase your products. Pretty cool, huh? Now, leveraging these Advantage Plus shopping campaigns or using a catalog, we have a couple of options on how those products can be showcased in ads, including in carousel ads, like the example on the left, or in collection ads, the example on the right. In carousel ads, you have a series of square images that are swipeable tiles that have their own call to action and have a description underneath them. So you can have different products that will populate and people can swipe across those. Whereas on the right-hand side, the collection ad is just a different format, a different ad format. And with that, you have your hero image, your main one, and underneath you have featured products, a few different products that people can click on. When people click on this ad, it launches into a full screen instant experience where people can scroll through multiple products, whether they're product sets that you have set up or products that are dynamically pulling in from the catalog that you already have. So there are lots of little powerful features in behind the scenes here. Now, when you're using Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, your ads might change up a little bit, and there are some factors that might impact that. So, for example, the ad format. It might end up being a carousel, or it might end up being a collection, depending on which one Meta thinks is going to get the best response from the users that it's showing it to. And if it's using carousel ads, your descriptions might vary from carousel to carousel. And if you're using a collection ad, then the media and creative options might change out. So you don't have precision control over it. You're allowing the system to take some of that control, do the heavy lifting, and calibrate these ads for the best, to attract the best attention possible. Other elements that can change with Advantage Plus shopping campaigns include product tags. So they're almost like little call-outs that happen within the... Other elements that may change are product tags, as well as additional little callouts, the reasons to shop, such as free shipping or sale. And this is all pulling off of the data that you have behind the scenes within your catalog and within your products. Now I have some examples for you, whether you're using an Advantage Plus shopping campaign or you just have a catalog of products that's connected to your ad account. You have some fun features that you can use, including editing the text that can overlay on top of your products. So you can, in this example here, we've brought in the price to overlay on top of the products. That is shaped in a pill shape. You can shape that box in like all sorts of different shapes. You can change the font of that call out, and you can also change the color in behind that call out. So you can make it feel a little more matching to your brand, a little more on brand. Other ways that you can match it to your brand, you could also upload frames. So you can make a custom frame that matches your brand, has your logo, however you want to set it up, and you can upload that so it'll overlay on top of all of your different products. There are lots of other pieces in here that it's too much to jam in and show you everything all at once. But these are some fun features that are pretty easy that make sense to most people who've never run a catalog ad before. Now let's move on to locations pages. If you have multiple store locations, physical locations that people can shop at, this is for you. You may have heard of it. Many of you have probably not heard of it before, but I think it's an underused feature that a lot of stores can benefit from. Most big brands are already on this. Medium-sized or smaller brands sometimes have trouble getting this set up and rolling because they don't understand what it is or how it works. So I'm going to help you with that. With locations pages, you can have multiple store locations. You can add different stores to your locations, and you can create ads for your stores, and you can publish content to all of your different stores, whether you're posting content from the main brand page and it posts to multiple locations, or it posts to the main brand page in some locations. You have some control over that. So it really helps when you have locations across multiple cities, and rather than having each single city post all this content individually and uniquely, you can publish content once from the brand and have that pushed down to all of the pages, and you can run local ads for each of these. Cool, huh? So store locations, they increase awareness of your physical stores and encourage nearby foot traffic to them. They enable you to customize your ad creative with local information and choose your audiences based on store locations, based on their geographical area. Okay, all of that is basically saying, hey, you can customize this stuff to your local area, but manage it all from one centralized structure. How does that structure look? You have your main brand page that is the parent, and then you have the child location. So location 1, 2, 3, all the way, however many locations you have. And within that, this is an example of one. So I pulled a screenshot from Sephora, Canada. I'm based in Canada. And here we have the main parent page for Sephora, Canada. It has 19 million likes on this one. But if we look at this one here, this is their locations page. So you can see that it starts with the page name, and then in brackets it has the address of the physical store location. And that's a very typical way of doing it. If you have a locations page set up, it's always going to have the brand name followed by the unique location identifier. That can be an address, or you can edit that to make your own unique page identifier yourself. So in this case, you can see this one only has 263 likes, but it has all of the local store information. So for me as a user, if I start typing in Sephora and try to search Sephora online and I find it on Facebook, it's going to pull up my unique location page with all of the local information for me to find my nearest store and shop. Some of the features that come with location pages, I'm going to read through some of these, bear with me. You can show people the location of the nearest store. So there might be multiple locations that user could go to. It's going to show them the nearest one. You can show items that are available at the nearby store by using a store-based catalog. Now, not all of you will have that feature available right now. You can share details like phone numbers and open hours. You can choose whether to share ads from your main page or from the local page by selecting your ad voice when you're doing those ads. You can use the get directions or the call now call to actions, which are very powerful call to actions on ads. And you can also set ad destinations like store locator to take people to a web page where they can find your nearest store, or you can use open map, which will take them to a page straight to directions to your store. These are all features that if you are a business that has multiple physical locations, these features have been tailored to help bring more attention to more foot traffic to your local locations and to help you increase sales. Now, when you're adding stores, you can either add from existing pages. If you already have stores that have their own pages set up and you're trying to pull them into this locations pages structure, you can add an existing page into the fold and it's going to adopt your page's locations structure. Or you can add stores manually. So here's an example of information that you would want to input when you're adding stores manually, including their street address, the city, zip code or postal code, the username you want to use for the page, information about the page's information about the store's hours, pickup options, and any temporary service interruption information. So you can put that in, and you can manage each page individually with some additional settings. So this part's really neat. You can publish content across all of your locations from one main source, from your main brand page. Now, that's on by default. So if you have new locations that you've set up, a new page that you've set up, or you've brought a new page in, it has no content posted on it whatsoever, then what's going to happen by default is that any content you post on the main brand page is also going to publish to those location pages. However, you can go into each page settings and edit that, and you can choose to never show posts from the main page if you want to. So you have some features here that you can control, and you can also run ads for the main brand or for those locations. All right, now let's move on to talking about some account best practices. This is important. If you are managing a brand that has multiple store locations, or if you have multiple managers working within your retail location, more than one person that has access to all of these lovely assets, it's incredibly important for you to make sure that you have backup admins on your account. Why? Well, if you go through the trouble of setting all of this information up, everything from having your pixel and your pages and your ad account and your catalogs and your data sets and all the fun stuff that goes in behind the scenes, and it's all hinging on the security and safety of one person's profile, and their profile happens to get compromised, that is bad for business all the way around, and unfortunately sometimes it does happen. So make sure that you have backup admins on your account who you trust and who can give access to other people. Make sure that every single user touching your account, whether they are a manager who is being given access to be an administrator on one of the pages, or whether it is a contractor that you are allowing access, make sure every single person has two-factor authentication turned on. Just do it. Don't question it. Just do it. And do not overlook that step. Trust me. Last thing you want is to have an ad account locked out or something shut down because somebody doesn't have two-factor authentication on, and it's one of the easiest little fixes. So just do it ahead of time. And if you are going to work with an agency partner, a contractor, a third party who doesn't work within your organization, I highly recommend giving them access as a partner. It's one of the features that you have when you're managing accounts. You can give partner access to your business account. So rather than adding them on as a user directly on the account, give them partner access, and you can manage that access. That way, at the end of the day, if you part ways with this organization, you don't have to go and untangle them from every single piece from your Instagram, from your Facebook page. How many Facebook pages are they on? You can manage it all from one little spot. On top of that, make sure that if you are working with an agency partner or a third party, make sure you own your ad account, you own all of your own assets inside of your own business account. Don't have them running any ads out of their own ad account or out of their own business. You need to own that, because at the end of the day, if that relationship parts or dissolves, they walk away with all of your customer data. And that's not good either. All right, so I feel like I've done my due diligence on informing you on some of these best practices, and I feel like we've covered off a high level of content that you can use with features from Advantage Plus shopping campaigns to locations pages, but there's a lot more that goes into this. So hopefully you've got some little takeaways from this, and if you do have questions and want some help on setting this up or help behind the scenes, I'm more than happy to help. I also have my Swift Kick in the Ads membership, where you can hop on Zoom once a week and ask those questions in a Q&A group session. Or if you just need help, reach out. Just don't hesitate to reach out. My name is Amanda Robinson. I am the Digital Gal, and my hope for you is that Facebook ads can be easy. It doesn't have to be intimidating, and I can help you get there. Thank you so much for attending this session. Thank you to Agorapulse for having us, and best of luck with the rest of the summit. Mwah!